Okay, in this section, we will talk about functional programming, very important, and I call this functional programming. Whatever, such a long name. How can I make it shorter? It's okay. Oh yeah, what are the most common functional programming in Python? Map, filter, reduce. By the way, if you are really good at list comprehension, you don't have to know this map, filter, reduce, because already list comprehension can do what map or filter does. Okay, you know that those countries, the countries I love the most, the list of countries, where are they? I want to use this now and then, so I can keep them here, but I think I can start with just normal numbers, nums. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you see numbers here? How many numbers do you see, guys? Oh yeah, 5 numbers. Okay, what kind of data type do you see?
List.
List, yeah. In this list, we have items or elements, and all of them are integers. Great. Now, if I ask you to change these numbers to 1, and then 4, 6, and 8, and 10. So as you can see, I am mapping them. I need an output. I want you to change this value to this. I think what you should do, maybe new nums, you should create an empty variable, an empty list, and then for num in nums, and then new nums append num times 2, right? That's one way to create a new list. So let's see what we have. New nums by now should be something like this. Let's see. Yeah, that's great. So that means this, we call it mapping, one-to-one mapping. Of course, it should be one-to-one mapping, but I can also say one, and then, I mean, you can change also to list of list. As you can see, list of list, but still it's mapped. I have 5 items in here, and I have also 5 items in here. So the one-to-one correspondence, actually, it's in terms of quantity. So what does that mean? This has been matched to this, and this has been matched to this. I'm sorry, this has been matched to this, and this has been matched to this, and 3, as you can see. But this seems wrong because I have to say num. Okay, let's run it again. Sorry, so 1, 2, and even if you want to have also the square, why not? You can make it just a square, and we have, oh yeah, 1, 1 to 1. As you can see, 1, and then 1 times 2, 2, and 1 square 1, 2, 4, 4, 3, 6, 9. Yeah? Even you can have the cube if you want. Of course, why not? So num, maybe I think if we used n, that make it shorter for our code, and sometimes, okay, then, and now, cube. Yeah, great. Let's print out. As you can see, I have, yeah, but guys, did I show you that pprint from pprint import pprint? Pprint allow us to format dictionaries and lists. So now if I do this, I have a beautiful layout. So I was expecting something different. Okay, let me run it again. From print import pprint. Okay, maybe there's nothing to format or to make it prettier. Okay, so as you can see anyway, now we managed to create the number itself, double, and the square and the cube. Yeah, so as you can see, this was produced from this, and this produced this, and this produced this, and this, I mean, was produced from this, and this produced this. Yeah, matching. So now I can use this also instead of this. I can also use, actually, I can also use the list comprehension. I can just copy this part, and you guys are now very familiar to list comprehension for in nums, right? And then you just put here. This is good enough. And then if you store it in a value new nums, and I should get new nums. And let's see. What do you prefer, this or this? It's up to you. It just works. But I tell you, list comprehension is very powerful in terms of performance and memory usage. So I may suggest you to use list comprehension and also clean.
The second one looks nicer.
Yeah, so no need to think. As you can see, you are looping, you're iterating each time, and then you are producing another list every time. Yeah, great. If we can do the same for the countries now, as I have been talking about these countries, now let's talk about, let's create some fancy functionality for, even I can just copy this, copy. Oh, and then I have to go to here and copy this countries list and put it here. Instead, new countries. Now I will call this C instead, and then I can change this to countries. And then instead, you can't change it to, but I can change at least C to upper, right? And let's see the value, and this also new countries, and let's see the printout. As you can see, I managed to print every country to its uppercase. Yeah, but inside, if you remove this, you can just produce a flat list, right? Let's see that flat list. Like this. But if you want to create list of lists, oh no, I have to do the other way. Oh, maybe I can just manually write it. And now, maybe if you want to just also see Finland. Oh yeah, maybe you may want to slice. After you change to uppercase, if I go to the third character, that's how you slice, right? Yes. And let's see the Finland case, Finland, and yep, Sweden. Yes, it's working. And if you are interested to know the number of characters of the language, learn and then see. How about that? So we are actually creating list of lists, and this has been created from Finland, and this has been created from Sweden, from Denmark, and from Norway, and from Iceland. Great. So have you understand this, the concept of matching? Yep. Concept of matching. It is one-to-one matching, actually, one-to-one matching. If you have 5 items, yeah, so the output should have also, you tell me. Yeah, if you have 5 items after matching, the output should be also 5 items. Okay, it doesn't matter what kind of structure it could be, if this is going to be a dictionary, or but this should be counted as in one item, right? Yes. Great. Now but how do we make this in a different way? How about if we are interested to make this I'm just wondering, did we learn about lambda functions, guys? Yeah, but I think it's also good to learn lambda functions. Sometimes lambda function is actually, if I want to say, yeah, I think we talked about, but let's summarize, revise again, lambda function. We can say lambda, the keyword lambda x, and then if you say x, actually you're returning just x by itself, but you can multiply it by 2. Now, this value is hard to call it. It's a function. It's a nameless function, a function without name. So we have to store it somewhere. Square, so it's a square. So to get the value, print square of 2. And then I should get 4. As you can see, I got 4. But you know, it's more than that. How about if I have x and y? Yeah, these are actually arguments. And now if I am interested to say 2 times x plus 2 times y. So tell me the value now. So since this function is actually taken 2 arguments, I have 2 paths, maybe 2 and 3. So you give me the value. What would be the solution for this? I'm waiting. So until you give me a value. Instead of saying square, I call it value because, yes, everybody said 10. Now let's change it a bit differently. X plus and 2 times x times y plus 10. Now you tell me, you may take a piece of paper and pen and calculate this. I will give you 1 minute. Go. Great. Let's imagine the 1 minute's over and the answer is 26. Let's do that. X squared means 2 square and it's going to be 4. Okay. So there's 4 plus then 2 times this. So this 2 value, 2 times 3, 6 times 2, and it's going to be 12, right? Plus and 10. Actually, we have here 10. Then 4 and 2, 16 plus 10, it's going to be 26, right? This is how you did. Yeah. So if you do that way, then your answer should be correct. And let's see the answer with the help of Python. Oh, yeah. 26, as you can see. So by now you're very familiar with the lambda function. It's a nameless function that allows us to calculate something. How about if it is something else? We can do whatever we want, okay? So here it goes. For instance, map is actually a higher order function. It takes a lambda function, lambda, and then again, it takes a list. For instance, I can take this list, nums. Okay, the nums, sorry, the nums. And now if I want to double this value, what I should do, hey, x, if you want this, if you do, this means go to these nums and double each item. And then you can store this value, new list, or whatever you can call it. And then I'm storing it. Now, if I print this value, print new list. As you can see, I got actually a map object. So instead of printing the map object, I have to change it to a list using the list constructor. Now, I should get actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's what I was looking for. If I want the square, I can say X. This is square, right? How to make the square? Oh, yeah. That's great. How about if I want to return X and it's double, and then again also it's cube, and then now I'm actually returning list of list. Oh yeah, great. So as you can see, now we are using the map, and we've been also using the same thing with just normal for loop. And then we have used also list comprehension. And again, it's up to you what to choose or which one to use. I would say list comprehension is still more powerful and straightforward to use, but it's also good to know that there is map, okay? Let's do for the countries here with map, okay? Map, and then I go for lambda, yeah, C for country, C to upper, okay? And then, of course, I have to call the countries list. And then if you print this value like this, just print, of course, it's very good. New countries, maybe list, and it's good to, yeah, store, then print new countries list. As you can see, I got something like this, a map object. Again, we have to change this to a list. Undo, I think I didn't list, and then you put it like this and run. As you can see, Finland, Sweden, Denmark. Of course, you can just create quite a lot of, for instance, like this. And now if I am interested in also the country code, I can slice it out. Okay, like if you do up to the third index and just, yeah, and close it with another square bracket, and we'll give you, why not? Yes, we got list of lists. Very good. Is it clear now? Mapping. So we use the map, the higher order function. Yes. Do we have to use this like all the time, this lambda or something else? We can also use other function, but as you can see, lambda is very powerful to change it, to extend it instead of like using another. For instance, if it was just to make it to square, if our plan was just to make it to square, we can say def make square n return n times, yeah, or maybe something like that. For instance, if our plan was just to change everything to square, actually instead of lambda, I can just call now make square. Have you seen now make square here? As you can see, this is what I taught you, the higher order function. Yep, I am using this as like as in a parameter. Yep. Now, as you can see, 1, 4, 9, 16. Of course, you can change this double, make double. I can call it make double, and instead I have to change it to 2 times n. And now, of course, we have to change this to make a double. Yeah, so it's not only actually lambda, you can also use a function, a custom function outside to use it in the map or filter or reduce. Yeah. But I would say lambda is handy. Yeah, lambda is so handy. And let's get back everything to lambda because lambda is so powerful. May I move on to filter? What do you think, guys? May I move on to filter? Now let me show you. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4 numbers. If I want you to filter the evens, hey guys, I want you to filter the evens. You may say for num in nums, maybe you may just print like this, right? Now I'm just printing the nums, I mean the number one after another. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Yeah. But the point is to filter them out, the evens. So we can say if num divided by 2, if there is no remainder, then we are going to append them to evens collection. So now let's figure out what we have inside the evens list. Yep, let's see. Do you agree 2 and 4 are evens? Maybe you tell me, guys. I think they are evens, right? Yes, they should be even. And if you want odd numbers, you may also just do the other way. The other way, you can change this to odds, right? And then if different from 0, and you can change this to, I think, odds. And then let's see. Now, as you can see, we have the evens here and we have the odds here. But I think, again, maybe let's do differently. I can just comment this out again. What did I do? Yeah, let us, how about if we want to use this list comprehension for num in nums, if num divisible by 2, if it's going to be 0, please store them here. This is how you filter them, and you call them this evens. And then the odds, let's see how you can write the odds actually. And then if this is different from, so it's again, it's up to you to decide to go for this or this. Which one is more elegant for you? Yeah, the last is more elegant, as you can see. And as I told you also, it's very good in terms of memory usage and also performance. And maybe if you want to check the result, evens and odds, let's see, because it's very important to see. Yep, 2, 4, 1, 3, 5. Great. Now we saw how to use the list comprehension, and let's move on to the filter. How can we use a filter to do the same? Yes. Okay. Hey, this is how we do. Hey, filter. I want you to filter something. I mean, the numbers. Of course, if x divisible by 2 and if the result is 0, and please filter them out from this. So you need to have a lambda function and also the list. And then now you get it return again this evens. So this usually actually return a map, a filter map, I mean a filter object. So it's good to turn it to a list. And then let's check this one, events, not events. And then I will just change it and let's see. As you can see, I got again evens. How about the odds? Let's do for the odds. And then what I should do first, I have to change this to odds. But here, if it's different from 0. Yeah, these are the evens and these are the odds. Again, we have just managed to filter. Yeah, using just the normal for loop and using list comprehension. And again, here using functional programming filter. And it's up to you what to use, but I recommend again, this, the list comprehension is powerful, but sometimes you may need also a filter. It's good to know. Okay, can we also filter the countries? Now let's do the same again to check countries with land. Okay, tell me which countries are with land. Everybody knows this, right? So clear and straightforward. Land, Finland and Iceland. Okay, so what we should do, hey, filter, maybe countries with land, and then I say filter, and then lambda, and then maybe C, and then if land in C, then countries. Yeah, this is what you need. And then, as I told you, this has to be changed to a list. And then if you now check countries with land, I should get a list of the countries that have land. And it should be Finland and Iceland. Let's do the opposite. How do we do that? And actually, let's copy that. Countries without land. Then note land, note in C. I think this is good enough already. So let's see. Sweden, Denmark, Norway, they don't have land. For your surprise, only just Finland and Iceland do have land. Okay, great. So we managed to filter them out. And if we filter out in any of the countries that has way, and it's going to be Norway, and the other Finland, Sweden, Denmark, and Iceland, they don't have a way. Okay, great. Is it clear so far, guys? Let me know. Okay, then let's just move on. Now the last functional programming is gonna be reduce. Maybe as you may understand from the literal meaning of reduce, actually making something small, right? For instance, you may have different fruit, avocado, mango, guava, and other fruits together. If you blend all these fruits together, you may end up a kind of a smoothie or a mix of fruit juice, right? Yeah. Okay, so whenever we want to change something to one, we use reduce. Okay, let me just remind you, map give you an output of the same amount of items or elements. If you have 5, you should get 5, and it return a list. Okay, and filter, it also reduce it also return again a list. It could be one or empty list. But when it comes to reduce, it may, I think it return one value. Let's see, what does that mean, one value? For instance, we can sum all this together and get one value. That means the total or the sum. Or we may multiply all these guys together and we get the product of all the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see that. How do we reduce? We can't get it globally like filter, so we have to import it from functional tools, import, reduce. So it has to be imported from this. So now I can use maybe reduce, and then I can say lambda, and then I can say A and B is equal to A plus B. What does that mean? A represent actually this and B represent this one every now and then and it sum up everything. So I have to pass nums. So this give me the total. Let's see now this value. Maybe if you sum up this, 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 and 3, 6, 10, 15. So we are actually expecting 15 print total. Okay. If I go like this, yep, I got it. 15, as you can see. So you don't have to worry about A and B. This is just the structure whenever you want to sum up everything from the list. But most of the time we call this accumulator, and this one is actually current value, and then accumulator and current value, maybe. So this sum up and give us, yeah. So, but you don't have to worry. You can call it AB or XYZ, and it doesn't really matter. Is it only to sum up? Of course, if you change this to multiply, actually you will get the multiplication of every number. 1 times 2, 2, 2 times 3, 6, 6 by 4, 24, 24 by 5, 120. And let's see. Oh, yeah, great. So you can just do that, but I think it's better to change the name. I can just say this total, and it should keep class, and this is going to be products, or maybe I don't know product, but let's just call it now product, and this could be multiplication, and we can have a different value. So the sum is 15 and the product is 120. I think this is what you should know about the most important and the most functional programming that we use most of the time. Do you have any question here? Okay, it seems no one has a question, so let's finish this one over here and let's move on to fetching APIs. Okay, I have to stop here.